Beta on production, Dave on the co-cast. And Dave, teams have been kind of picked. We're going to be covering our boys, our Gravelpit Laser versus Manor Ghost. What names?
Yeah, fun little names. I like that we're staying true to kind of TF2, utilizing the maps that everyone knows and loves. Sadly, I don't think Jeepit is going to be in the map pool, but that would have excited me at least.
I am so happy that these teams went for English names instead of the French names.
Yeah, for sure.
Good God, it would have been an absolute carnage fest if I had to pronounce those team names wrong as well as the player names. Speaking of players, we've got some recognisable names, some not so recognisable names, especially after I'm finishing through with them. But if you're just joining us, this is our 6th round out of 7 of the round-robin portion of our little French draft tournament. It is going to be Team Manor Ghost versus Gravelpit Laser. Take it away on mid, Dave. What do you see? What do you see?
See the Zunis taken, the enemy holds back but getting counter-bombed immediately, so he's going to get pushed back. There's a lot of space here for Manor Ghost to push over the right-hand side, but high ground for Cadillac is just able to fire rockets down at Impo, and Impo's going to have to back up, take a bit of heals. A couple of players now down for red, and Spoilers is in the back lines with the flank through sewer. Doesn't get the medic, but does do enough damage. It's able to be cleaned up on Plop, and Juxta and Suck are going to have to run all the way back to last.
The consolation prize, they do keep their medic alive, so is it Sake or is it Sake? I don't know, I guess we get to pick.
Sake,
but,
I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe
Sake.
it's a weeb.
Hey. Sake? Alright, Sake. Well.
Sake.
Sacre bleu. Alright, well, we've got 100% who's charged on both of these teams.
Sacre rouge.
Good God. Stop. Alright, I can't, because I'll be get compared to with it. We've got Stickies on point. We've got Sentry Gun on point. We've got both the teams with Uber Charge, and they're trying to find their picks on these players. We've got Neo on Soldier, a rare little treat here in the French draft that keeps on giving. Upo is trying to just edge for these doors. They actually get a lot of pressure over onto the red squad. Plop is going to get taken down. He needs a crossbow. Will be brought back to the brinks of to the living. And yeah, they hold magnificently by the skin of their teeth over on red. It looks like they were being played from all different sides here, Dave.
Yeah, it was a lot of pressure coming down on them, but they just about survived. Sake is going to keep his Uber ready to pop. Should they need it, they want to hold on to it as long as possible. Maybe even for the full 4 minutes for the round reset, but the moment Sentry is kind of sudden Sentry it up.
Delhi going down. Yes, that is Delhi on scout going down. They will even lose Bibos as over on the flank. And yeah, it was a very nice sort of rotation round from all these soldiers and holding these doorways. That should definitely be a push out here for, was it Gravelpit Laser? That's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, Jeepit Lasers in the red. Azunis went down in the backlines, but Neo was caught as well, going for a hiding spot. Spoilers is in position as well, but he is going to get caught going for a solo play, and at the moment, nothing quite is working for Manor Ghost. They're still 100% up for Jeepit Lasers as they move into mid, launching themselves in, trying to pin Yimpo back. Oh, he does have the trap though.
Yeah, gets a Demoman pick. That's actually a nice healthy pick to kind of hold mid still, and they might do so. Oh, they even lose Azunas to the Neo Soldier, and they will pop in aggressive with the Uber Charge now, and they just have to do their best sort of dance moves over at this choke to dodge all the scout plate. Will eventually go down. That's poor Tonton, the medic, going down, and maybe if they can get these remaining flanking classes left and just play off these respawners over on Manor Ghost, they could maybe still make a fight of it.
Yeah, they've got lots of players up for Manor Ghost, but heals still. So they took the Uber in, they got the medic down for Jeepit Lasers, they got their medic back out, they now have the heals. So while it is settling down, it seems Manor Ghost aren't really going for anything. There's definitely a window for them to go back in for a play, try and get Sake down before his spotters to come in, but now it's going to be Uber advantage back in Jeepit Lasers' favour.
Yeah, they're very organised over on Gravelpit Lasers, all the way back, assuming the position, not getting sloppy in this server whatsoever. But as the time ticks down, I think composures fold quickly for these teams. Let's see if they can keep up the tempo, as they will neutralise Neo, who's going for not quite onto the medic, but just to see if he can get an early pick, I think, as the last previous attempt. And yeah, they decided to give it up here. Neo couldn't, their only sort of shot at trying to get the tide turning.
Sake was very low for a long time there. It wasn't even a health pack for him to take.
Tonton? Oh, well, Zunis, perfect jump right on top of the medic. Everyone's a bit like blindsided. Where did that soldier come from and why is my medic glowing? Yes, he will have to use his Uber charge. The last remnants will allow, I guess, I don't think Spoilers even got a bit of that Uber, so just flank play worked on one team, but flank play didn't work for the other.
Yeah, now they're trying to bust in through choke. They have the Uber ready to go should they need it, but looks like once more they're just able to bully their opponents back, force them out through the threat of the Uber alone. Going to be able to walk in, they can leave. The one guy is Sassiter, the scout to cap, moving into lobby, ready to take the Uber into last.
They will get one pick. They've used the Uber charge now. The sticky's on point, somebody's going to have to clear that, and the sentry gun has actually still not been dealt with during all this. It's actually getting healed up. So there's Uber charge, not the nicest Uber I've ever seen in my life, but probably will even go down as well. So Uber charge in the back pocket, ready for the is it Managos? Managos to push out into the second.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate losing that soldier. They already had that one player committed back to the cap there, G-Pit lasers, but they lost a soldier in lobby while they were pushing in. So they're pushing it effectively with just 2 players in the Uber, and weren't even able to focus down the sentry gun early. So it's never really going to work. Pushing 4 into a last point, even with that Uber.
No stickies, no attempts at life. I think Plop did just come back, so I don't think there would have been a chance to get those little stickies up and alive. He's kind of left it a little bit on his own, but they bring back Azunis to defend his man, and yeah, they're just going to give up second point as well. Just play it very clean and calm and collected over on Gravelpit Laser. But eventually you've got to hold that your position.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate they wanted to play back because they knew they didn't quite have the Uber, but the Mana Ghost just took the space, took so much opportunity into second, and once that space is taken, there's going to be no attempt to refight.
Sentry gun spammed out, Spoilers allowed to get in, Neo comes in from the other side, will immediately get minced by 5 players, and there's no sort of kind of taken point by Spoilers as well. They're going to throw a soldier in. Cadillac doesn't really find anybody, however, but it's a free jump with Neo going down.
Yeah, not going to lose too much, although Managos wanted to pressure in through when Delhi is finding space. They're finding damage down onto Azunis. They're actually going to trade it out here, Turbodaps.
Yeah, there are a lot of early Ubers coming out from both of these teams, maybe a bit nervous about any sort of snipers or just anybody being dropped, and I'm not sure what the objective really was for the Mana Ghost team. They might overextend over on Gravelpit Laser, but they haven't lost any souls so far. I don't think they will do so anytime soon. It's still scary though, just that last point factor and a back cap imminent, so they're going to just hold last here over on Gravelpit Laser.
Yeah, just one pick for G-Pit Lasers, not enough for them to want to push out. But,
you're right. We've actually got the Azuna Spy. I think he's got the Invis Watch though, so this will be an interesting sort of spy thing. Is that the Eternal Reward as well? My God. So let's see if he can put his best impressions. Oscar-winning play by Azunis actually goes invisible, and he's aiming for a flank soldier instead. This man does not believe in his abilities as they are trying to edge through a doorway. He does get the backstab on him, however, but who stabs a poor little soldier?
Going for more. He's revealed himself to be the spy, so surely the Managos side are going to be
oh my
smashing,
God,
and they're going to
he's
be ready for
uncloaked.
it.
I think they might have heard him because he uncloaked really close to the rest of the team. They're checking their points in the areas now. They shot down. Azunis is still hoovering up ammo packs everywhere. Delhi's going to check the closet for spies as well, and he's going to come back in. Maybe they thought he's gone back to spawn. They've turned around. They think a soldier spotted him. The Yeti. Nobody can get quite a fine grainy picture of him though, so he's going to go back hiding again. Everyone is paranoid here from Mana Ghost, from actually a ghost on Gravelpit Laser.
Yeah, it's like a horror movie.
Oh no, not
Azunis.
not Spoilers again. He's not going to pick off the poor man again. He's come back. They're wondering, why is my teammate going into the red spawn? He's going back. He's back to scout. That's all Jess was saying.
Yeah, they're going to just set up normally lots of spam coming in from the roller area from Neo, trying to take out the sentry gun, but it's nice and healthy. Nice, a lot of metal has been built up in that time. Neo once more pushing down in. It's actually going to force kind of like down into the one area, but at the end of the day, not too much damage done, not too much penetration really from the Mana Ghost right now.
Oh no. As I guess we get to go talk about things whilst teams are playing a bit of death stares on between each other on the last point. The thing I want to talk about is just kind of the styles of TF2. Usually you think you're just going to get absolute chaos between these two teams, but we're actually getting a bit of calm TF2 as well in these sort of mixed teams. Do you think this is an identity brought by just certain players here, or is it just roll the dice and some players some teams just happen to be kind of calm and collected here, Dave?
Well, I've seen Delhi as a scout for the Mana Ghost team, and he doesn't naturally suggest calm TF2. You know, when he's playing Demo Man in Prem, he's usually the most aggressive player on the server at any one time, and he kind of makes it into a chaotic DM fest, but the rest of his team isn't really living up to that at the moment. They're going to have to run back to second here, losing another game with spoilers, but maybe they can take the fight back in. There's 40% away from having that Uber. It is a large advantage.
Yeah. An Uber charge used only takes out a soldier. It's like a Uber force in reverse, really. As they will just lose a soldier. So now it's up to Mana Ghost to see if they can make a better attempt at it. Seesawing action on this midpoint. Let's see their take on it over Mana Ghost.
Pop in through the sewer area. There wasn't too many traps, too many pitfalls for them to deal with. They're going to catch Juxta actually, maybe Plop as well. He hits a nice pipe on to Yumbo, but it's not going to be enough. Delhi does run in, but he gets traded out by Cadillac as well.
Camp, maybe? I mean, I don't know who could possibly block here, and there are no blockers to be had. Azuna's caught in sort of sewer area, still jumping about, and we've got a pause during all this action.
Yeah, it'd been very kind of slow and methodical for a few minutes there, but now suddenly we've had the Ubers back and forth seesawing, a little bit of just kind of opening up of the gameplay. We've got some backups, attempts coming in at least, some players in behind, kind of split Jeep and Lasers team. Oh, they're combo back on second, looking to hold, as looks like it's only going to be a short pause, mercifully.
Zunis goes down eventually to the Delhi scout, chasing him to the ends of the earth for that player. I'm not sure if they're aware of this last scout that's weaseling about. Actually gets right on top of the medic. Can he clean his plate? He cannot. As TomTom will keep himself alive via quick step. So back to the Gravelpit Lasers on second points. They're just holding for now. They've got the Uber charge, but I guess with one player down on the squad, they're less than thrilled about making this push.
Yeah, they committed 2 players in behind before the Uber could come up for them, and those have now been cleaned up, still waiting on their respawns. So Zunis goes in as well. It's a lot of damage down, but no conversion on the frags.
This is where things might get frustrating for players like Azunis, who's used to a certain caliber of team where he brings players. Is that a drop? Was I hear the sounds of something going on down during all that chaos? They actually are losing a lot of players over on the red squad. They're capping their second point here, Dave, whilst I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it's all down to Cadillac to try and block this second he's jumping in, but there's 2 players waiting for him, delays it for just starts the cap actually back for a split second, but the Uber's up for TomTom and they're ready to go.
As soon as rocking a shotgun for the last desperate times, calls for desperate measures, they finally pop the Uber now, and they're right into the nestled arms of this red team and into the nestled points as well. It's a round on the board for Mana Ghost.
Yeah, decent stuff. That was where Cadillac it was actually timed out. He got back into the game pretty quickly, so we didn't have too long a pause, and games are ready to go. Mana Ghost 1-0 up and looking to continue this form.
Generally quite calm TF2 we've been seeing here, lots of kind of battleships as everyone just stays at their half and just kind of see if they can sink one with a controlled rumor here and there, but over it onto our forced scuffle on this midpoint, and still playing it very calm. Nobody's getting into the mix. Azuna seems to be the common name to actually go out and aggressive here, and it's not working out for them. Cadillac will follow up, get the kill onto Tonton, but they've taken out so many damaging classes over on Mana Ghost, and now they've only got one left. That's poor little Juxta. He actually might take out the Demo Man. He's hiding behind the rock. The Ghost will get him over on Mana Ghost, and Deli finally cleans up that laser.
Yeah, decent stuff there from Mana Ghost once more. Just both their soldiers going in and really getting value for it. Taking out Seiki the medic and getting a lot of damage down Plop as well, forcing him into an awkward situation. They are on Cheap Laces back up on second. They are looking to hold. Wasn't a decisive mid in that favour, and actually Sake spawned with a bit of ad as well, so I have to see if it's enough for them to make use of.
One round on the board. Mana Ghost can probably play things a bit more defensively, and it has been the kind of tempo for the entire game, so they're going to feel pretty comfortable here. While Gravelpit lasers, they have also been playing things kind of slowly. Don't really want to throw too many things. That pressure will build. Fortunately, they've still got 15 minutes left. It might not sound like a lot, but when you're playing in game from fight to fight, every second counts, and every second feels a lot.
I just see there's someone spamming in chat, unfortunately. It is Wandom is spamming out when the award show is going to be. So, and he's a mod himself, so sadly we can't ban him, but I really wish we could.
The dreams are being made here in the French Draft Cup as they will take out, I was going to say both scouts, but I need to get used to Neo playing that soldier class. They will protect their medic, and they're humoring the idea of maybe going in from PC with the remaining players over on Mana Ghost, but they're actually trying to cut them off, and they realise this. They're trying to take the doorway. They actually get on top of the medic. Bilbo's almost Bibos, I should say, actually almost got the kill. Tonton takes actually a crossbow to the face, has to back off, and they're pushed out from the rest. And Plop actually gets plopped to the ground as he catches a pipe from Yupo. And with Ubercharge powered, ready, and able to push in, they take out Azunas out of that choke area. They're still storming forward. They have lost, I think, someone else over on Mana Ghost. No, it was just Neo. So I don't know why they're backing out here. I think they could definitely make an argument to keep pushing in.
Yeah, I think they wanted to, but the problem was Tonton had gone down to like 50 health, and he really was wary of walking in through that choke point on so much health. No, just one spam rocket would have been enough at long range to force him out. So they were wary of having to push him with so much damage down onto the medic. It made the difference, despite the fact they had the player out.
They trade soldiers. Spoilers trying to hold the door whilst they are dealing with Cadillac, who's going in aggressive. So no great loss for either team, just more time wasted.
Yeah, but now it's... Zuna's just about escapes there. They're trying to pressure in from sewer here. G-Pit lasers, Deli is peeking into it to make sure they've left, make sure there's no one running around in his sewer area. They've got a decent amount of control with his second point at the moment. Mana Ghost spawn is quite deep in IT, might actually get caught here. Goes down to 2 health and is eventually cleaned up by Cadillac. They get the second frag actually onto Deli as well. It's traded out at the end of the day with both soldiers going down for G-Pit lasers, but maybe there's more frags to be had with the Assassins going down. It's all happening in IT.
Yeah, they did a quick head count and they realised they can't possibly flank them. Every single person is in that IT area, so they commit all their resources over on Mana Ghost to come back and just recollect that fight. Isn't it atypical though that I think Spoilers was doing all the work, doing a lot of damage, and Neo just came in like pop, 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 got 3 kills just like that, setting up for success.
That's the Prem player difference, but now it's Mana Ghost running over the high ground on mid. They force Saki out, and it's going to be a much better Uber for the blue side of Mana Ghost. Spoilers is going to clean up Sasita as well. There's kind of like left in sewer. Azunis in behind as well, maybe. They can't quite find the final rocket onto Tonton. Scrappy fighting happening at choke, and Plop is in peril here. Take it out.
committing too many people to that long fight. I think once Azunas went down and they couldn't really make any play off it, I think they should have held a bit more defensive positions. But CLRV, they're already pushing into last. They won't allow them to build that central gun. They've got so much cap time, not even Azunas is quick enough to get the block on, as a second round cushion has been afforded to Manor Ghost. It's looking good for them.
That was so quick. They just won a fight on mid, and before I'd even got to the last point, somehow they capped second and last immediately. That was just such a fast transition for Manor Ghosts, and deservedly going 2-0 up.
Yeah, with Pop going down over at the second point late, it gives a lot of confidence to these teams to just take the doorways, go in for three. Azuna's cleaned up very early at the start there. I don't think I even breathed a word before that man went down, and that spells curtains for this midpoint. They're actually throwing in some players over onto second point as well. Mid is not enough.
Yeah, very, very aggressive actually. Neo finding a nice little perch.
Oh my.
It's able to keep people up. Jugs to eating pipes as well.
It's the meat grinder. Everyone's just standing. It's this weird play where you brought down such low health. Maybe my medic will heal me with a crossbow if I stand still, and you just become fish food for the Manor Ghost players. And being pushed at last, they're trying to keep stickies on point at all times during all this. And unfortunately, they will feed a couple of players into the blob rather than to the point over on Manor Ghost. Give Gravelpit Laser a shot in this game.
Yeah, they're going to try and muscle their way out with these two picks, but that doesn't look like a good position for Azunas. Neo's in as well, does get the foresight. There's a blue Uber ready to go. It's going to be slightly longer. Plop is caught. Awkward situation once more as well.
Oh, I don't think they were aware that Plop was where he was. I guess Mumble's looking a bit fragmented over on Manor Ghost. There's a lot of low players, but just nobody really coordinating up. Fortunately, they will just blob up and just enter a doorway one by one. Everyone's licking their wounds too hard over on Gravelpit Laser. They're on last. There's no sticky point. On the point, I should say. And they're capping out slowly. The dust settles, and it's another round. 3-0 for Manor Ghost.
Yeah, and Tauntaun's able to run it onto the point, cap it out, and get a frag as well. So even the medics getting involved in the scraps.
Ain't gonna lie, Dave. 3-0, 9 minutes left. It's bad. It's pretty bad. But hopefully, we're gonna see some good comeback TF2, and they need to change up a gear. Plop is already changing a gear by rhyming to mid quite quickly. And yeah, they've actually got the kill onto spoilers nice and early. That's a lot of confidence being ran into the rest of your squad to go a bit more aggressive and maybe play off each other in this other half of the map. Cadillac following up with another bomb, a nice sort of damage being laid out to his team. They're putting the chase on. The gears have successfully changed. They're even going to clean up the demo man last. It's very, very nice here. I mean, somebody needs to cap midpoint, but I still like the energy.
Yeah, very nice stuff. Just this time, as you say, Plop hit the rollout. Was able to follow up on his soldiers who both went very fast, both locked down. A lot of space on mid, and then they
spam the sentry gun. Please continue, though. Please continue. They're just bullying them.
They're already on last. Azunas is in panic room as well.
Put the sentry gun again. I am not letting you go down, says Deli. And yeah, they've used the Uber charge on last. Azunas can't believe his eyes. They're building the sentry gun again. Neo goes down. They have to still wait for the damn second point to be loading here. They brought out the heavy weapons guy. It's free. The third defense, the charm, I suppose. Azuna's hanging up in the tower. The heavy weapons guy, being an anti-air gun, will actually get cut down by the scatter. Scatter? Well,
Setter, maybe?
Interesting. But anyway, they actually defend finally after just getting another lot of respawners and bringing out the heavy weapons guy. I guess that class is just a caliber of its own. They finally win with that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was so good from Gravelpit Lasers how they took the mid, how they continued to pressure with the just momentum they had, but they had to be aware of the fact they only had the one player on the mid cap. He then had to cap up second, and they were already taking the Uber into last, already trying to fight over last when the mid hadn't even been capped. So just got a little bit too far ahead of themselves, sadly, and the momentum that they had kind of earned themselves on the mid fight was thrown away.
I think Zunis was trying to hide and go the long way around and maybe get on top of the medic there, but does get sniffed out by a scout, cleaned up as well. It's up to Cadillac for a big boy towering bomb. Tauntaun, ooh, nice use actually. I think he would have gone down if he didn't use that Uber charge. So it does make things a little bit awkward because now they might have to build this Uber charge in to go into second, but they've taken a lot of frags, a lot of life, maybe even enough time and pressure to set up a last sort of poke.
I mean, it's going to be more than a poke. It's a 4 versus 2 at the moment.
Oh, they had an Uber charge. They had the Uber charge to stand on point, but they were so defensive, they just didn't stand on it, or in a position to stand on it, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, as a medic, you obviously don't want to be forced in that situation, but at the end of the day, when you only have one player around with you, you have to just use the Uber and block it, and they were way too slow to do that.
Dave, it's time for Old Reliable. Kritzkrieg is coming out of the tool belt. We haven't seen this one in a decent while in our TF2 games, and you'll probably see why, but it does kick things up a notch, and let's see if it can laser them down. They are called Gravelpit lasers after all, so maybe this is the signature mascot play. Actually, they don't need no stinking Kritzkrieg. The lasers were in their hearts all along. Yupo, oh! Did he actually bind so he wouldn't get shot in the air there? That's in the end.
That is huge. We have ruined frag movies.
Beto here has probably got a single tear in his eye while he's watching that in production.
Either way.
So bad. Alright, well, Kritzkrieg is ready. I'm not sure if they're quite, ready for this. I don't think they know it's going to happen. So let's all eyes on Plop. No pressure, kid. Let's see. Actually, they're putting on the Zunas, and the Zunas goes down. Sake goes down. I mean, I know he's like one of the more bigger names of the team. Maybe Plop just blegged that player. I do not want this Kritzkrieg. Please take it. And you can see why soldiers don't really have that same impact as a demo man.
I mean, yeah, they just got absolutely mulched in the one door as they were taking in the crits, and that's one of the reasons you don't see crits that frequently.
Incidentally, we're seeing crits again. I love sequels as they're going to try and attempt to build up that Kritzkrieg. They have got a direct counter over on Tauntaun, building up that Uber charge to full. Actually uses his Uber charge because the scout managed to weasel in and get a couple of shots on him, had his back turned, got a bit scared, used the Uber charge. Yeah, it's just a bit chaotic here on the Gravel laser squad. But they do lose everybody down. You could just call that a good Uber, I suppose, but it does take it out of the equation when going into this midpoint now.
Yeah, I mean, GP lasers, they can say they got the force out, but they lost the whole team for it.
I think they've picked up the Medigun. It's now Kritzkrieg over on Tauntaun.
Yeah. He's got 80% of it as well.
Oh my! You think they were blindsided by the Sake crits? They're going to be definitely blindsided by the Tauntaun crits, and they've got it on Yupo as well. Frag clip potential. Oh, they've got the pyro! As soon as deflects the first initial sticks of that, and they can't quite land these last couple of shots onto him, Sake will go down, but it does the job. It's not quite the frag clip that there was potential for, with 5 of them bunching on the point because of that Azuna's pyro, but it still did this work. They've got the second point. They're barreling into last now. There's no stickies left. Azunas is going to that pyro once more, but he can't reflect bullets. Now they're all actually defending the point, but they've got a soldier shooting the ground. They're still actually coming back, holding this last point. You will not take this away from me, says Plop. And Juxta comes back to just kill off that last remnant of a scout health on Delhi. So yeah, well held here by Gravelpit Laser.
Yeah, fighting for their lives at 4-0 down. You love to see it.
I mean, there's 2 minutes left, but I like the spirit. I like the gusto.
We will not lose 5-0. We will not lose 5-0.
Nobody 5-0s me 4 times in a row. Alright. They've lost their head a bit, I think, along Gravelpit Lasers. Everyone's just coming back as the city fun classes. They're pushing out through doorways that they have no right to push out at this time. For someone that defended the list last so heartily, they just kind of give it up in the end anyway. 5-0 is the score line for Manor.
So yeah, impressive stuff. You can see really the talented players, talented on multiple classes, and yeah, they really shone. It took a little bit of time to get going, but once they did, once it got into their, I think once they got into their groove, once they really were able to get aggressive and get that fast-paced TF2, they look great.
I keep passing a look at the, or should I say, soccer blur. Look at the score lines compared to the enemy team. I know they're winning 5-0, but usually it's a bit of a closer bout or scrap between these teams. This has probably been the most one-sided, and it happens to be the one we clicked on.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but at least we got to showcase both of the teams. That is what you want to see at the end of the day. I'm bringing up some logs.
I too am bringing up logs. I guess we're seeing the players and who's on their mains. Apart from Neo showing off a bit of kind of flexibility on his part. But I guess it shows to show the quality of having an experienced demo man, as Yupo is topping the charts over onto damage and overall just kind of presence. Felt like poor Plop was really suffering through that game.
Yeah, it is tough when there's a difference in kind of the quality of the demo men like that. It was, there's decent players on the red side, but they weren't able to be kind of a cohesive unit because Plop was often getting caught out by these top players on blue. Which
classes have you been seeing any trends so far, Dave? Any classes that are like, oh, this looks like you want to put all your newbie players on this team, or these classes are ruling the roost? Is there just anything that's too powerful in a format like this?
I definitely think Demo and Medic are the most important classes in terms of you can't have someone you can't have weaker players on those classes, otherwise it's going to really hurt your team.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems to be the big thing for me. I think the first round we saw, the Sosok on the Medic was like a big factor for his team, and then on this time it was Impo coming up trumps on the demo man, and I think that's probably more important than having a little bit of a diff in the scouts or the soldiers.
All right, well, before we go, let's have a look at that table as we are coming towards the end, the final round of our round robin. So we can probably have a quick glance at the bracket. And, for all those audio listeners out there, the ones that can't quite see the beautiful graphics that I'm sure Beta is trying to find and the screen. Oh, okay, he's got them. Okay, very good. So, we got... let me have a refresh before I start making a fool of myself. There we go. All right. Granary Farmers towering up the charts right next to the boys Badlands Miners. So... that's going to be an interesting matchup. Manor Ghost claiming loads of places in that little decisive victory. And yeah, those are your top three. Everybody else is where they are. Gravelpit Laser going from second from last. I see it. I understand. I get it. Yukon Bears. We haven't quite covered them yet, but we might do so far. What we'll do, Dave, is we'll go for a break. We'll have a little chatter amongst ourselves. Everyone will get a drink because everyone's a bit tired and, hot from all this steamy TF2 action. And then we'll come back and we'll do our final round. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
All right, okay. Boys and girls, go get your drinks. We'll be right here when you get back. See you later.